Ruka tu, banjuka tu. Life ni fupi na misi jifungi. Lazima tuanzie kuongea hiyo story ya mbona lazima angejifunga juu. If DNA had fungad himself, he would probably be in a very different situation, but he's still telling us what the story was. Now, DNA, as we all know him from that particular song that we just sang, if you don't know it, you're too young, you should probably go and Google it. But DNA was one of those artists around the same time as Jua Kali. I mean, he was part of so many productions and alignments, and like, he was a big star. You could see it coming, right? However, took a tangent. He started having this habit which most people have when you're in the entertainment industry. Your life, your schedule, your day doesn't work out the way everyone else's day works out. Oftentimes, you find like you're very free in the morning, and then in the afternoon is when you're picking up pace, you're going to studio, you're going to all of these things. So you have a lot of free time on your hands. So what happens is you work those 2-3 hours at your studio or whatever you're doing. You have a show, you go pull your show. After you're done with your show, you start drinking. And because you don't have to wake up early the next morning, what do? You continue drinking until 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 7 a.m. in the morning. And because you have time to rest and wake up and continue, you continue. What does that lead to? A very funny thing called alcoholism, where now your whole life is set up like that. Every single day, that's what you're doing. You wake up, you drink, you go to work, you come back in the evening, you drink, the same thing. The cycle repeats itself. Before you know it, you're addicted. You cannot function without it. You become one of those functional alcoholics. And this is the same story that DNA is trying to tell us. He says that was exactly what was happening to him. He'd find himself that he's drinking. Let me actually read it really quickly. He said, I had a difficult time at the beginning. We used to wake up early in the morning drunk. Maybe I wake up at 5 o'clock and I see that I have been called by a producer, but I've woken up at 5, the producer has called me, they've not patted me, so what do? They move on to the next person, right? So you start to lose out on opportunities. And he said that he actually was taken by his friends and family to rehab centers, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And you can imagine, I feel like he is actually very privileged, because most people don't even take you to rehab. They just start saying, ulem levi, and that's the end of that. People don't deal with that stuff. However, he had such loving people around him that they constantly took him back. He would relapse, they would take him back. He'd start drinking again, they'd take him back 3 whole times. And then he started to realize, by there, you know what am I doing? Like, I need to sort this out. I need to stop drinking. And it was when he stopped drinking that he started to get his life together, okay? Anyway, long story short, I think if you have time, find another interesting thing to do with your life except drinking. It seems like fun, and by the way, when you have time, especially when you're young, there's nothing else to do. You can drink, you hide from your parents and drink with your friends, you come back home drunk, but guess what? It becomes a habit, and it's very difficult to kick some of these habits.
True. Yeah, and low-key, those artists wa kitambo, they were low-key nepo babies. They had mad money for them to be successful. But anyway, I think we need to address alcoholism as a problem in Kenya because it's even a stereotype. I was hanging out with a Nigerian friend the other day, and they were like, is it true what they say about Nigerian girls, about Kenyan girls, about how they drink heavily? There's just a culture of drinking that's normalized, and we need to not normalize that because it's a lot. Please recognize an alcoholic and move on and work on it.